day for the British royal family as King Charles, who acceded to the British throne on the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September last year, will be formally crowned alongside his wife Camilla in a majestic religious ceremony at the Westminster Abbey in London today. The coronation was last witnessed by the world 70 years ago when Queen Elizabeth II was crowned. The slimmed-down ceremony will be attended by 2,000 guests, including political leaders, members of the royal family and celebrities. Over 7,000 troops have been rehearsing into the early hours of the day in preparation for one of their most historic royal duty to date, which is to line up the procession route for the gilded horse-drawn carriage of Charles and Camilla to be ridden from Buckingham Palace for their coronation.
The coronation will be a 2-hour ceremony at Westminster Abbey right here, riding centuries of history and tradition, but with several new touches. The sequence of rituals, and there will be many, will follow a logic of their own. Within Westminster Abbey, faith leaders and governors-generals of the realms and prime ministers or their representatives with their flags carried on their behalf will move first into the Abbey. The King and Camilla will follow, preceded by ceremonial staff carrying the regalia, which is a collection of precious royal objects. Their Majesties will then be seated on the chairs of estate, newly done up for the occasion. Homage will be offered, and the Queen will then be anointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury. The service at the Abbey will last about 2 hours. Their Majesties at the end move back to the chairs of estate before heading out in the return procession and for that balcony appearance at Buckingham Palace. The coronation procession is due to leave about 1730 IST and due to return to Buckingham Palace about 1800 IST. Of note, through the way back and in the procession to Westminster Abbey, the King's brother Andrew and his son Harry will not be there.
CNN's Riley Carlson gets us this report from London on what to expect from King Charles's coronation ceremony. Take a look.
High above the crowded streets,
135 meters above London.
A view from a modern vehicle. One William the Conqueror couldn't have imagined when he became the first king crowned in Westminster Abbey nearly 1,000 years ago.
We had turned one of our London iPods into a coronation capsule. You have a replica of 700 years old coronation chair.
King Charles III will be seated in the real coronation chair Saturday as he accepts his crown in a ceremony not seen in 70 years.
We have, of course, the crowning, we have the anointing, and then there will be a big procession from the Abbey. And all of that happened with the King's mother, Queen Elizabeth II.
While maintaining much of the traditional pageantry, there are signs that Charles intends to leave his stamp on the institution.
He wants to make changes, and we can see this in the coronation.
The regalia also merging the old and new, from the historic robes and royal jewels to the carriages. One delivered in 2014, another dating back to 1762.
There are very few monarchies which have retained coaches working of this age, and therefore it's an incredibly special thing to see.
Those hoping to catch a glimpse of the royals in those coaches lining the streets days in advance.
I think he's going to make a wonderful king.
He's waited all of his life for this. This is what he's been trained for. This is what his birthright is.
All in anticipation of the sacred moment when a new king is anointed before God and country.